February and it's a leap year and it's time for my month recap. And I wanted to start off by talking about my tarot card of the month because for this month it was the Ace of Cups, and that usually means like emotional energy, raw feeling, love's beginnings. So I was kind of thinking that that had to do with Valentine's Day because, you know, February, Valentine's Day, that's usually the first thing you think of, right? So for Valentine's Day, I took the initiative to prepare a dinner and dessert, and I had a really cute little outfit on. I'll talk about that more later. But so I made Tuscan chicken, and I have never made that before, but it was really fun to try out, and it turned out really nice. And I made that because it's called Marry Me Chicken or something like that. That's the nickname, and I thought that was really funny for Valentine's Day because, you know, I think that speaks for itself, but it was great. And I also did just like a cheesecake that was really easy, a no-bake cheesecake type thing. And I always make a handwritten card, so that was really nice. But the outfit, okay, so I had on black heart pasties and little black ruffle panties that had red bows on the back, and it was just so cute. I curled my hair and I had makeup on, and I also had black stockings with lace on the top, and of course I wore heels too. But then the real secret was underneath the panties. I had a really cute little red heart plug, and that was like my little surprise, I guess. I don't know. Like, I didn't really do anything too crazy for Valentine's Day, but I tried to still make it kind of fun and special, right? So it was pretty good. I did do something for you guys as well, not just my lucky boyfriend, but I put my Fansly on sale, so it was half off, which made it only $4. I know a couple of you did take advantage of that, which I love to see it. Welcome to the club. I don't normally do like a ton of sales, but every once in a while when there's a special event or something, I like to throw my Fansly out for, you know, half price or whatever. I just think it's nice to give you guys a little something sometimes. I don't know. Anyway, back on to my life. So the chicken, the Tuscan chicken, the Marry Me chicken, it must have worked because me and my boyfriend kind of like didn't really talk about getting married much. Like, I've always kind of wanted it, but he didn't really want it. But then just the other day he told me that he does in fact want to marry me. So the chicken worked. I don't know. I can't say it'll work for you, but it worked for me. So yeah, that was just a fun thing, I guess. Because we've also been looking into moving again. If you've been around with these month recaps, I've talked about that a lot before, and I've talked about our apartment before. So we really want to move, but the housing market's just been kind of insane around here. But we've been looking at a bunch of really cute, like, older houses that are a little bit fixer-uppery, because I love a project and he's super handy. And then of course it makes it a little bit more affordable. And we want to move out to the country, and oh my god, it's so exciting that we're finally starting to kind of look again. We actually walked through a house at the very start of the month. We didn't end up going with it because there was a little bit too much damage that we weren't going to be able to fully repair ourselves, but it was just so exciting to be able to, you know, go and look through a house and see the possibilities, and I don't know, I had a great time. Actually, and this is kind of funny too, I was just talking about that Marry Me chicken and marriage and blah 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 blah, and actually one of my closest friends, we went to buy a wedding dress, but it was her second wedding dress. She's my friend who got married back in September, and her second dress option that she was really having a hard time choosing between, it went on sale for like some crazy discount, and like the stars aligned for her to get this dress. Like, it made sense for her to get this dress. She could use it for a work photo shoot event that was happening, and like if she ever does a vow renewal, now she's got her next dress. Like, anyway, whatever. It was really exciting though. Any excuse to kind of go to like a bridal boutique and see those beautiful, gorgeous gowns, sign me up. I love it. And even just seeing her try the dress on, it was gorgeous. I do not blame her for buying it. It was just such a random thing. I never would have expected my friend to call me up and be like, hey, I'm going to get a second wedding dress. But I'm all for it, right? I don't know. And then we also just went to lunch, and that was pretty good too. Got Krispy Kreme donuts because I don't have one local to me, so it's like kind of a destination thing. When you get out there, you have to get Krispy Kreme because otherwise you're not gonna have Krispy Kreme for like a long time. Anyway, so that was kind of fun. I surprised my boyfriend with those. Mine and my boyfriend's mutual friends, actually, they hosted like a hockey viewing party, and we had pizza and drinks, and it was really fun. I'm not a huge hockey fan myself, so I'm not sure what event exactly was going on that we were watching, but I'm always here for pizza and booze, so it was good, and friends, you know. And then me and my boyfriend, we actually took the initiative to host the Super Bowl. My boyfriend's a really huge football guy, so we do that every year, and he made chicken wings. We did homemade mozzarella sticks and pickle coins and nachos with a 7-layer dip and chips with a French onion dip, and then obviously drinking as well. So that was really, really fun having everyone over for that. I also, oh my god, I went thrifting again with a friend, and I constantly am saying, I need to stop spending my money, but then I go thrifting or I go shopping or this, that, the other. I can't stop. Whatever. But I do have a haul video coming really soon, because it was a really, really good thrift haul, actually. I think you guys will like a lot of the stuff I got. I also went shopping with my parents and my brother, but we just went to like the mall. I didn't really get enough stuff to like show you guys in like a haul video or anything. I got this little white top and I got a denim dress. It's really cute. I'll show you guys eventually, but I just didn't feel the need to do a haul video for 2 items. And then we also went to lunch that day. Anyway, it was really nice to just hang out with my family again and whatever. My boyfriend's family, they always invite us over for dinners, and this time they made me jackfruit pulled pork buns, and it was so good. I've tried to make that myself before, and it never turned out that good. This one turned out so good. He said he had it cooking really, really long, just like marinating in the barbecue and everything, and it was like delicious. Anyway, but they invited us over so we would talk about our vacation plans for this year, because we all voted to go to Myrtle Beach, and that's going to be really, really cool. I've been there before, but I'm excited to go again. It's always a good time. It's a really nice beach. And we just like voted on where we would stay and really just confirmed the plans. It was just exciting. So that'll be coming up, and I can't wait to tell you guys about that too, later on in the summer. Because the weather's been kind of weird up here, it's been super fluctuating. It's been like plus 12 degrees Celsius, but then also it's been like freezing and snowing, so it's like just really messed up. My boyfriend works outside, so he's had a couple days off, and we had a little breakfast date one of the days, and it was just really nice. Nothing super significant to say about that, but I wanted to mention it because I had a good time. Oh, also, I'm finally part of the Sourdough Club. I started my own sourdough starter, and that has kind of just been like a month-long project. I started maybe midway through, so it took me a while to get it established, and I haven't really made anything with it yet. I've made crackers. They turned out super, super good, but that's just not really significant. But I cannot wait to start baking with my sourdough. It's gonna be so fun and so much healthier and honestly cheaper, and I can't wait. I have so much fun baking and cooking and doing all of that, so it kind of just made sense to do a sourdough starter like everyone else. It was Family Day in Canada. I don't know if anywhere else does Family Day. I don't know if that's a thing, but it's like a holiday, and it's actually one of the days where you can fish without a license, I guess. I didn't know that until this year. But so we were like, okay, let's take advantage of that. Of course, we just got fishing rods for our birthday, so we've been super excited to try them out. But we didn't have our licenses yet, so we were like, let's do the family fish day. We went to our family property up north, and it was like super snowy and like terrible for fishing, but you know, we did it anyway. I messed up my rods so many times, I don't even know. I had fished before in my childhood, but not anything enough to remember anything, so it was pretty much like starting from scratch, and I just really screwed up so many times. But I think the next time I try, I think I'll do good. It felt good, like I felt like I was getting the hang of it a little bit, I don't know. So I'm actually super excited to do a little bit more fishing. That's just a really cool kind of hobby. It gets you out in nature and whatever, and I actually just got my fishing license today, so woohoo, I'm ready for the summer. But the thing is that I'm literally a vegetarian, and I don't think fishing for fun is exactly ethical. But I do have 2 cats that I love and want the best for though. So I've been feeding them raw food a lot more often, and they seem to just love it. I gave them sardines the other day, so I'm thinking that if I catch a fish, I can give it to them, and then it's like, it works out. It's cool, right? But oh my god, it's kind of gross because I have to, you know, go through and like debone things and like butcher things for them now. Like with the sardines, I like removed the spines. It was like, it smelled disgusting. But it was kind of cool actually. I can't complain all that much. The things I would do for my cats, I guess. Anyway, fish swim in schools, right? Like that's a thing. Slightly different topic now, but I'm planning on going back to school. I've been accepted to a college for a thanatology program. All things death and dying. Super exciting. It's gonna be so beneficial to learn such a deep subject, and I think it opens up a lot of doors for me in the future in terms of careers. And you know, every single person in this world will deal with grief and death at some point in their lives in some way, shape, or form, right? And I'll be able to help. And that feels really good to be able to say that. I've never really felt like that before, and that's why I chose not to go to college right out of high school, because I knew that if I went, I'd want it to be for a purpose. And it's really funny actually, because ever since I was like a toddler, I used to say I wanted to work with dead people, which is totally creepy for a toddler to say things like that, but I used to say that I wanted to do the makeup on dead people, you know, before funerals and stuff, make them look all pretty. And then in high school as a teenager, I was really interested in forensics, but I, you know, didn't end up pursuing that. But now that my life has kind of led me to this point where I've had 2 miscarriages and have had that firsthand experience with intense grief, this truly feels like the right thing for me to do. It feels like the universe has pointed me in this direction and given me this purpose a little bit, which is just exciting, and I'm excited to learn and see what happens, I guess. If you've followed along with me for the past about year, you'll know how much my faith has grown. And I've always been very spiritual, but through my hard times and grief and trauma, I have been brought even closer to God. I know it sounds a little crazy, but there's like really no better way to explain it. I actually read the book Mary Magdalene Revealed by Megan Watterson this month, and it was so good. I was literally gasping in shock and like highlighting stuff as I was reading it. I was like mind blown almost. And I've always felt very sure of my own faith experience and my theories, but for someone else to have them and have made sense of it and put it into words in a book with proof, it's just kind of an insane feeling. Like I feel so seen and heard. It's crazy, and it really proves my own faith to me even further, that other people have been able to have the same experiences as me. I already gave the book to my mother-in-law so she can have a turn reading it, and then I have a couple friends I want to give it to as well, just because it was so good. I felt it in my heart, you know, and I want my friends to be able to feel that too. Hopefully. I don't know. Maybe they'll just think I'm a lunatic, but it felt good to me, and Yeah. I've always felt just so connected to Mary, and I'm really starting to understand why, and everything just makes a lot of sense. It's weird. This month was actually the 1-year anniversary of when I had my first miscarriage, so I prayed to Mary because she represents virginity, motherhood, sorrow, grief, patience. And honestly, I never paid much attention to the patience attribute before, but I've been really focused on working on it lately. The last somewhat significant thing I have to talk about for this month, really, is that I talked to a fertility specialist. After having the 2 miscarriages, I have a lot of anxiety about pregnancy now and if I'll be able to successfully have a baby someday. So they're able to do a bunch of tests and monitor me for like a whole month to track my cycle. And they could even do tests on my boyfriend as well. And I had asked my doctor for this referral because it felt like the right thing to do at the time, but now I changed my mind a little bit. It's expensive and it's invasive, and even by the end of it all, if they told us that we're both perfectly healthy, that doesn't mean that we wouldn't have another miscarriage. So I kind of have just been weighing the odds, I guess, of doing it versus not doing it. And honestly, I'm really not interested in doing IVF, fertility treatment, stuff like that. So then I started questioning why I was really going to a specialist, because, you know, they might be able to give me some answers, but not the peace of mind that I'm so desperately searching for. So I just started questioning if it was really worth it to go through such invasive, expensive treatment, because that's a lot of stress and a lot to just go through when nothing is certain, I guess. I don't know. Maybe someday I'll do it. I'm not completely shutting it out, but right now it's not the time for me to be talking to specialists, I don't think. And I am glad that I know a lot more details about what it all entails now. I think right now at this point in my life, I just need to give myself a little bit of a break and focus on my faith and school and everything else I've got going on. So I don't know. I'll obviously keep you guys updated on anything that changes in my life. I'm pretty much an open book. I think this has been a really great month recap though. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next month. Bye!